The streets of Gaza are boiling with frustration like never before. Crowds of Palestinians, their voices rising in defiance, are turning against Hamas. Release the hostages, they chant, demanding answers, demanding change. What once seemed unthinkable is now unfolding. Protests in Gaza escalating to a breaking point. What led to this moment? And what does this mean for the region? Stay with us as we break it all down. For years, Hamas has maintained an iron grip on Gaza, controlling nearly every aspect of life. But now, something unprecedented is happening. Frustration is reaching a boiling point. The people, weary from war, destruction, and isolation, are raising their voices, not against Israel but against Hamas itself. In the latest protests, angry crowds flooded the streets, chanting a phrase that sent shockwaves across the world. Release the hostages. The very people who once saw Hamas as their only defense against Israel are now demanding accountability. But why? What's changed? The breaking point. It all comes down to years of hardship, war, and broken promises. Since the October 7th attack, Israel has launched relentless retaliatory strikes, leaving much of Gaza in ruins. Civilians have paid the highest price. Thousands dead, tens of thousands injured, and basic necessities becoming scarce. Yet, amid all this suffering, Hamas has refused to negotiate the release of Israeli hostages taken during their surprise attack. Families of these captives, both in Israel and within Gaza, have grown desperate. And now, that desperation is turning into outrage. The protests started small but quickly gained momentum. What began as whispers of discontent in private homes and markets has spilled into the streets. The people are no longer afraid to point fingers at Hamas for their worsening situation. For decades, Hamas has portrayed itself as the defender of Palestine, but many Gazans are now questioning that claim. Critics argue that Hamas's leadership is disconnected from the suffering on the ground. While ordinary Palestinians struggle to find food and water, Hamas leaders are accused of living in luxury, often abroad. This has led to a critical shift in perception, one that could have long-term consequences for the group's rule in Gaza. So how has Hamas reacted? As expected, with force. Protesters have been met with crackdowns, arrests, and intimidation tactics. Reports suggest that Hamas security forces are trying to silence dissenters, but the anger is not fading. So, how has Hamas reacted? As expected, with force. Protesters have been met with crackdowns, arrests, and intimidation tactics. Reports suggest that Hamas security forces are trying to silence dissenters, but the anger is not fading. Political analysts say this level of public resistance is rare. While Hamas has always dealt with opposition, open protests calling for change are something new. Could this be the beginning of a larger movement? As the protests grow, so do the questions. Will Hamas be forced to negotiate? Will this pressure lead to a hostage deal? And most importantly, will the people of Gaza finally see a different future, one not ruled by Hamas's iron fist? One thing is clear, the voices of the people are growing louder. And for the first time in years, Hamas is feeling the pressure, not from Israel, but from within. What do you think about these protests? Will they bring real change? Or will Hamas suppress them before they gain traction? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to VeriNews for the latest updates. We'll keep you informed with real, unbiased coverage from around the world.